At first, it might feel like nothing more than fatigue, a little more thirst than usual, maybe some blurry vision or waking up more often at night to use the bathroom. Just getting older, we tell ourselves. But what if it's something more? Across the United States, more than 29% of adults aged 65 and older are living with type 2 diabetes, and many more are in the early stages without even knowing it. That's nearly 1 in 3 seniors quietly walking through life with a condition that can harm the heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves over time if left unmanaged. The truth is, diabetes in older adults often doesn't make a loud entrance. It doesn't always announce itself with the dramatic signs we see in younger people. For seniors, the symptoms can be subtle, easy to mistake for normal aging, and far too often overlooked by both individuals and doctors. But experts are raising a gentle yet urgent alarm. Aging may increase the risk of diabetes, but it doesn't mean we're powerless. In fact, understanding why people over 65 are more prone to type 2 diabetes is the very first step to reclaiming control and protecting your quality of life. This article is not meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. We'll explore what really happens inside the body after 65, the quiet biological shifts, lifestyle changes, and even medications that can make seniors more vulnerable to diabetes. Most importantly, we'll share what you can do about it with small, thoughtful changes that fit the rhythm of your life today. Because you deserve to feel strong, steady, and informed, not confused or afraid. Let's begin by listening to what your body might be trying to say, and what many doctors may not have the time to explain in full. After the age of 65, the human body goes through quiet but significant changes. You may not feel them all at once, and some may seem like simple signs of aging: slower steps, less strength, maybe a little more stiffness in the morning. But underneath these surface-level changes are deeper shifts that can quietly set the stage for type 2 diabetes. One of the biggest changes is a loss of muscle mass, something doctors call sarcopenia. As we age, we naturally lose muscle and gain more body fat, especially around the abdomen. This matters because muscle tissue plays a major role in using blood sugar. Less muscle means your body becomes less efficient at absorbing glucose, leading to insulin resistance, a key step toward developing diabetes. Next, the metabolism slows down. Your body no longer burns calories as quickly as it used to. Even if your diet hasn't changed, weight can creep up more easily. And since extra weight, especially around the waist, can worsen insulin resistance, this sets off a chain reaction that many seniors aren't warned about. Meanwhile, the digestive system also slows, meaning glucose from food can linger longer in your bloodstream. Paired with changes in kidney function and reduced physical activity, this can lead to a slower glucose clearance. The body just isn't moving sugar out of the blood as quickly as before. Hormones shift too. Aging affects not just reproductive hormones, but also cortisol, growth hormone, and insulin itself. These hormonal changes influence how the body stores fat, builds muscle, and manages blood sugar. If you've noticed that losing weight has become more difficult with age, or that you don't feel as energized after eating a balanced meal, hormones may be playing a role. Sleep quality often worsens with age as well. Light, interrupted sleeps, especially due to pain, frequent urination, or anxiety, can raise cortisol levels, which then increase blood sugar. Over time, poor sleep becomes not just a nuisance, but a risk factor. Finally, the immune system becomes less efficient. This means inflammation tends to stick around longer, even from minor issues. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now known to contribute to insulin resistance and the development of type 2 diabetes. These aren't failures of the body. They are natural parts of aging. But without understanding these changes, many older adults are left wondering why their blood sugar levels are creeping up even when they think they're doing everything right. The good news? Just as these changes develop gradually, they can often be slowed or balanced with simple, steady actions: mindful eating, gentle movement, and regular check-ins with your body. In the next part, we'll talk about a hidden culprit that makes things worse, and it's something many seniors live with daily: chronic stress and silent inflammation. It may sound surprising, but many experts now believe that chronic inflammation and long-term stress are two of the most overlooked drivers of type 2 diabetes, especially in people over 65. Let's begin with inflammation. Unlike the swelling you might see when you bump your knee, chronic inflammation is quieter. It simmers below the surface. It's your immune system staying on longer than it should, reacting to everyday irritants like excess sugar, processed foods, lack of sleep, or even loneliness. As we age, our bodies naturally produce more of these inflammatory markers. They're part of what scientists call inflammaging, a combination of aging and persistent low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation can interfere with how insulin works. It can block the body's ability to move sugar into the cells, causing glucose to build up in the bloodstream. But where does inflammation often begin? Surprisingly, in the gut. An imbalanced gut microbiome, which becomes more common with age, antibiotics, or a low-fiber diet, can leak tiny toxins into the bloodstream. This triggers the immune system, which fuels inflammation, which in turn contributes to insulin resistance. Now let's talk about stress. Most people think of stress as a temporary feeling, something we get over with rest. But in older adults, especially those dealing with isolation, grief, financial uncertainty, or caregiving burdens, stress can linger. When stress hangs around, your body responds by producing more cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol raises blood sugar levels to give you quick energy. That might help in an emergency, but when the stress doesn't go away, neither does the high blood sugar. You may not feel it as panic or anxiety. Sometimes chronic stress shows up as poor sleep, irritability, low energy, or even stomach issues. These signs are often mistaken as just part of getting older. But underneath, the body is on high alert, and blood sugar may be climbing silently. So what does this all mean? It means that diabetes is not just a sugar problem. For seniors, it's often an inflammation and stress problem too. And unless these root causes are gently addressed, even the best diets or medications may struggle to fully control blood sugar. The good news is, both stress and inflammation can be reduced, not with drastic changes, but with daily habits that restore peace to the nervous system and balance to the gut. In the next part, we'll look at common medications, conditions, and habits that quietly raise diabetes risk even when you think you're living healthy. Many seniors are surprised to learn that even when they eat reasonably well and stay active, their blood sugar can still creep up. Why? Because behind the scenes, several hidden triggers may be quietly increasing their risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and most of them are not well explained during routine doctor visits. Let's start with something nearly every senior is familiar with: medications. As we age, we tend to take more prescriptions, often for blood pressure, cholesterol, arthritis, sleep, or depression. But certain medications can interfere with how the body handles glucose. For example, corticosteroids, like prednisone, are known to raise blood sugar significantly. Some antidepressants can increase insulin resistance. Diuretics and beta blockers for high blood pressure may alter sugar metabolism. Even statins, used to control cholesterol, have been linked to a modest increase in diabetes risk in older adults. These medicines aren't bad. They're often necessary. But when taken long-term or in combination, they can create a metabolic burden the body struggles to manage. That's why regular monitoring and honest conversations with your doctor about side effects are essential. Next, let's talk about daily habits. A sedentary lifestyle is one of the most powerful yet silent contributors to type 2 diabetes in older adults. Many seniors no longer work, drive less, and spend more time sitting. You may feel like you're resting, but too much inactivity causes muscle loss and reduces your body's ability to use insulin efficiently. Skipping meals is another overlooked habit. When older adults eat only once or twice a day, often due to reduced appetite or forgetfulness, the body may swing between low and high blood sugar levels. These spikes and drops can worsen insulin sensitivity over time. On the flip side, snacking too often on packaged, processed foods can flood the system with refined carbs, keeping blood sugar elevated for much of the day. Let's not forget chronic conditions. Certain health issues common in later life increase diabetes risk on their own. These include sleep apnea. Often undiagnosed, it causes low oxygen levels during sleep, which increases insulin resistance. Heart disease. Conditions that affect the heart also tend to affect blood sugar metabolism. Cognitive decline or depression. These can change eating and activity patterns, reducing self-care and increasing vulnerability. Finally, unseen emotional burdens such as caregiving stress, grief, or loneliness can have physical consequences. They affect sleep, eating, movement, and even immune function. All of these can silently nudge blood sugar higher, one day at a time. So what's the takeaway? Diabetes risk after 65 isn't just about how much sugar you eat. It's about how your medications, daily habits, other conditions, and emotional well-being all interact inside your body. Understanding these triggers doesn't mean living in fear. It means taking back awareness. Small adjustments, even something as simple as stretching every morning, drinking more water, or reviewing your medications can lighten the load on your body. In the next section, we'll explore simple daily actions that can help reduce risk and support healthy blood sugar levels, gently and naturally. When it comes to managing or preventing type 2 diabetes after 65, dramatic changes aren't always necessary. In fact, for most older adults, small, consistent adjustments can make the biggest difference. Here are gentle, practical habits that can help stabilize your blood sugar without turning your daily routine upside down. 1. Start the day with balanced fuel. Skipping breakfast or grabbing a sugary pastry may seem harmless, but it can set your blood sugar on a roller coaster for the rest of the day. Try this instead. Begin with a light, protein-rich breakfast like a boiled egg, a piece of whole grain toast, or Greek yogurt with berries. Include a little healthy fat, such as a few almonds or avocado slices. Avoid juices or refined carbs that cause quick spikes. This combination helps your body wake up gently and gives your blood sugar a smooth start. 2. Move every hour gently. You don't have to run or go to the gym. Simple movements done regularly are more powerful than you think. Every hour, try to stand and stretch. Walk around your home or yard. Do a few light chair exercises or balance movements. These small actions activate your muscles, which in turn help absorb glucose from your bloodstream, naturally lowering your blood sugar. 3. Drink water with purpose. As we age, the sense of thirst weakens, and mild dehydration can creep in unnoticed. But your kidneys need enough water to flush out excess sugar, so aim for a glass of water first thing in the morning, sips throughout the day, especially before meals, herbal teas or fruit, infused water if plain water feels boring. Avoid sugary drinks or excessive caffeine, which can spike or dehydrate. 4. Create a steady eating rhythm. Older adults sometimes forget to eat or eat too little throughout the day, only to have a large, late dinner. This stresses the body and makes blood sugar harder to control. Instead, aim for 3 small, balanced meals per day. A light snack if meals are far apart, something like a handful of nuts or a few slices of cucumber with hummus. Consistency helps your body stay in rhythm and keeps insulin levels more stable. 5. Check your feet and sleep. Diabetes can quietly affect the nerves and blood vessels in your feet. Daily foot checks for redness, cuts, or numbness can catch problems early. Also, try to create a calming bedtime routine. Dim the lights an hour before bed. Avoid screens or heavy meals late at night. Try relaxing music, stretching, or gentle reading. Poor sleep disrupts hormones and increases insulin resistance, so improving your rest improves your health. 6. Speak kindly to yourself. Managing your health after 65 can be overwhelming, especially if you're facing other conditions or caring for someone else. But stress, guilt, and shame raise cortisol, and high cortisol raises blood sugar. Give yourself grace. Celebrate each small step. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. You don't need to overhaul your life to support your blood sugar. These simple shifts, made with care, compassion, and consistency, can lead to better numbers, more energy, and greater confidence in your own body. In the next section, we'll discuss how to talk to your doctor openly and ask the right questions, because you deserve to be heard and fully informed. When you're over 65, managing your health can feel like walking through a maze. Different specialists, multiple medications, and 5-minute checkups can leave you feeling confused or unheard. But you don't have to be passive. You can and should speak up. Being your own advocate doesn't mean being difficult. It means asking thoughtful questions and making sure your concerns are truly seen. Here's how to prepare for conversations with your doctor, and which questions matter most when it comes to preventing or managing type 2 diabetes. 1. Can we review all the medications I'm taking and how they affect my blood sugar? Many seniors are on 5 or more medications, and some of them, like steroids, statins, or certain blood pressure pills, may increase blood sugar levels. Ask for a full medication review. Sometimes, a small adjustment can reduce your risk or make your current diabetes management more effective. 2. Am I at risk for prediabetes and should I be tested? You may not have diabetes now, but early warning signs could be quietly present. A simple A1C test or fasting glucose test can offer powerful insights. Catching prediabetes early gives you time to act gently and effectively before it progresses. San, what are my blood sugar goals at my age? Blood sugar targets for seniors are often different than for younger adults. Your doctor should personalize your goals based on your overall health, activity level, and other conditions. Be clear. Ask for your specific numbers, not just "you're fine" or "watch your sugar." You deserve real information. Sit. Can we talk about my nutrition in a way that fits my lifestyle? Many seniors are told to just eat healthy. But what does that mean? Cookie-cutter diets often ignore cultural foods, appetite changes, or chewing issues. Ask for a referral to a registered dietitian, especially one familiar with older adults. Personalized nutrition is more realistic and far more sustainable. Woo. Are there other conditions that could be affecting my blood sugar? Hidden problems like thyroid disorders, sleep apnea, or chronic inflammation can make diabetes harder to control. If you've been following advice and still struggling, ask if further testing is appropriate. Sometimes, the issue isn't what you're doing, it's something deeper that hasn't been addressed yet. Lou, how can I better track my symptoms between visits? You don't need to be glued to a glucose monitor, but knowing what to notice, like changes in vision, energy, or wound healing, can help you spot shifts early. Ask for simple checklists, journal templates, or apps suited for older users. Clear tracking leads to clearer conversations. Gentle tip: write it down. Before your appointment, write down your questions, any new symptoms, changes in medication or supplements, how you've been feeling physically and emotionally. This helps you make the most of your visit and reminds your doctor that your voice matters. Being informed is not being difficult. Being curious is not being a burden. You are not just a patient. You are the expert of your own body and your own life. The more confidently you advocate for yourself, the more likely you are to receive the care, respect, and clarity you deserve. In our final section, we'll explore how to move forward with confidence and peace even if you're newly diagnosed or just beginning to make changes. Getting older often brings unexpected challenges, and hearing the word diabetes after 65 can feel like yet another burden on the long road of life. But let's pause for a moment and reframe what this really means. A diabetes diagnosis is not a punishment, and it's not the end of your independence or joy. In truth, it can be the beginning of a deeper awareness, a chance to treat your body with the same love and attention you've given others for decades. Many older adults carry quiet fears. Will I lose my mobility, my memory, my freedom? These fears are valid, but they are not your future. Not if you take gentle, consistent steps and surround yourself with knowledge and care. Remember, your body isn't betraying you. It's evolving. And while your metabolism may slow or your cells may resist insulin more than they once did, you are not powerless. Far from it. You still have the ability to choose nourishing foods, even if it's one better meal at a time. Move your body with grace, even if it's just walking to the mailbox or dancing in the kitchen. Advocate for yourself in the doctor's office, asking questions and demanding clarity. Connect with others, because isolation can be as damaging as any disease. And perhaps most importantly, you still have the power to believe in your body's ability to adapt. You've already weathered so much in life: loss, change, uncertainty, and you're still here. That resilience didn't disappear at 65. In fact, it may be stronger than ever. Living well with diabetes doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present. It means listening not just to your doctor, but to yourself. Noticing when something feels off. Trusting your inner compass. And giving yourself grace for the days when it's hard. You are not defined by a blood sugar number. You are not defined by your age. You are defined by the choices you make every morning, every meal, every step. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and know that you're not alone on this path. Millions of older adults across the country are walking beside you, learning, adapting, and thriving. You don't have to fear growing older with diabetes. You just need to keep growing with wisdom, with care, and with courage. Because aging isn't about fading, it's about shining differently, but just as brightly.